Hello traders, good morning everyone. Welcome to Wayfield Capital Trading channel. In today's video guys, I'm going to show you how to trade and identify trend. So starting out with the video, I'm going to be teaching you what are trend, then showing you how to identify trend properly. Because if you understand how to draw a trend line properly, you will be able to trade with trend lines, you will be able to trade with market structure, and you will be able to read and analyze the market. Okay, so without proper understanding of using how or knowing how to work with the trend line, you will definitely be finding difficulty or having a lot of setbacks when you come to analyze the market or doubting what you will be doing. So in today's video, we are going to cover that out, starting out with what are trends in the first place, what are trends to begin with, then how to identify trend and how to map them correctly. So taking you now to our chart, currently we have some trades running out on gold and GBP USD. So going back to our chart guys, what we need to understand about trend is that trend is simply the directional movement of price. When we are talking about trend, we are simply talking about it describing the directional movement of price. When the market is moving, of course, it has to go in two directions or possibly three directions, if we can call it so. We have an uptrend, we have a downtrend, and we have a sideward trend, right? That means at some point in time, you realize that the market will be able to make such movement like this, right? Then at some point in time as well, you'll see that it's also possible for the market to make such movement as this playing out. So when such thing happen, you know that okay, this market is going up, but that upside or downside movement is called a trend. Okay, a trend simply describes the directional movement at which price is heading to. Now, how are these trends moving? When you look at the market entirely from an overall view, it is easy for you to say the market is heading down or the market is heading up. But first, what are these trends? So let's go into our board. Let me break this down for you. Okay, when we are talking about market structure, it is made up of candlesticks, right? We're talking about reading an entire market structure is being formed by price, and those prices are being calculated in respect to time and value. Okay, we can have the value there and time at which it moves with respect to what the candlesticks movement. The candlestick movement forms an entire market structure. So when we are looking out on this, you'll be able to see that when we have a series of bearish trend, that means when we have a series of bearish candle, which is normally the red candle, if your chart is at default, you'll see that the market will be making a downward structure. Okay, the market will be making a downward move as so. Okay, so if we have this now, if we are having this series playing out, you will see that at this level here, okay, you will see that at this level we created a high. This in the situation that the market was first of all bullish. Then we have a low, then we have a lower high, we have a lower high, then also we have a lower low, then we have again another lower high, then followed by a lower low structure. That means on a simple trend analysis, right? On a simple trend analysis, it is much easier to see or to understand that market structure along this area, right? It is more easy to understand that market structure along this area is simply creating what? A downtrend structure. And a trend cannot just be of this standard, right? If I have the market as this, I cannot call this a trend because I have no direction at which the market is heading to at this moment. That means if I just have a bullish candle and followed by a bearish candle structure, that means at this level now, I cannot call this a trend. For me to have it as a trend at least, or a simple trend, I must have at least three movement. Okay, I must have at least three movement. That means the market has to begin at a point, create a structure, then ends at a point as well. So what I have here is that I have officially a baseline, which is a low, then I create a high, and the price come back to create again a low, which a low here is higher than the previous low. So this becomes my higher low, and this becomes my higher high structure. So if this becomes my higher high structure, I can easily call this an uptrend. Okay, I can easily call this an uptrend. And the same also, if I have a baseline starting from above, then we have a trend down, a trend pullback, and a trend down to this position as well. I can call this a downtrend. But if I have the market acting as, so I will not be able to call this either a downtrend or an uptrend unless I have price breaking down. If price happens to break away from this low, then it is easy for me to say, if price happens to break away from this low, it is easy now for me to say, okay, fine, at this position now, the market is going down, or the market is bearish. It's easy for me to define that this area here is bearish when I have a break below this structural low. And it is easy for me to say as well that this market is bullish, right? It is easy for me to say this market is bullish if I have price breaking away from this structural high. Okay, so that's how simple it is to understand what trend is. So I can call this an uptrend, I can call this a simple downtrend. Now, to have it now as a simple trend, that is where we have a continuation series. That means if I have this pattern repeatedly happening, right? If I have it on a repeat playing out, let me check away this. So if I happen to have this market on an uptrend playing out at this level, a retest, a high, a higher low, a higher high, a higher low, a higher high. So if I have this continuous play out, I can call this a simple trend, a simple bullish trend continuation. Okay, I can say this a simple bullish trend. Now, this can be a simple bearish trend as well. If I happen to have the market creating a pullback and a continuation, right? So you can easily read this out as a simple bearish trend structure. So you can see that here the market is bearish and here the market is bullish. But for a trend, what we need is just this to call it an uptrend, and what we need here to call this a downtrend is this three-leg structure. Okay, so that's how a simple trend plays out. Now, I want us to understand, because we have simple trend and we have a complex trend structure, a simple trend and a complex trend structure. To understand now a complex trend structure, that means we have, first of all, like I said, I just explained what a simple trend structure is. Now we are having a combination of both bullish and bearish simple trend structure to form an overall trend direction. That means what we have here, like I want to draw a bullish complex trend structure. That means, first of all, if I say a bullish complex trend structure, that means I'm looking for the market to, first of all, be bullish. Bullish means that heading towards the direction of the buys. Okay, that means I'll be looking, first of all, to have my simple uptrend first, right? This is my simple uptrend structure, followed by a simple downtrend structure. Okay, followed by a simple downtrend structure. Then now I can have, at this position right here, I can now have another simple bullish trend structure, right? Breaking up, going back. Is it clear? So I can have the market now at this direction here. If you ask me how many trends are in this market, I can call that they are three simple trends in this market. I have this, I also have this simple uptrend, and I also have this simple uptrend structure as well. Understood? So we have three simple trends creating this complex uptrend structure. So if I am to come here and say, okay, fine, I want to excuse me, if I'm to come here and say, okay, fine, let me just map out my trend line using this complex trend structure, right? So if I'm to say, let me just map out my trend line using this complex trend structure, what I'm going to do is that I'll be paying attention to my major key levels. Okay, so if I'm having this entire market pulling up, or right, let's say the current price is acting right at this high here, then if I want to draw my trend line, I have to look for the two previous low structure. I cannot be drawing my trend line from this level, from this low, or from this low using this simple uptrend structure. I cannot be drawing my trend line here will make it to be invalid. I know that I have an uptrend, I have a downtrend, and the entire structure here is an uptrend structure as well. So my point of interest will be my major key levels, which are also going to be at this low right up to this other low here. Okay, so this is going to be my trend line. So that is how I can simply draw my trend line using this, and drawing the trend line on that position is very, very effective. Now let me take you back into the market. Let's have some practical realization of what I said, so we can all see it together. First, I want us to identify a simple trend. Okay, I want us to identify a simple trend structure. Then from there, we'll go ahead to identify a complex trend structure as well. Okay, now let's just take this simple example here. I don't want to make it too difficult for you, but after this video, if you watch this video to this level, after this video, what I want you to do is that you go back on your chart, right? Then you try to practice this out. You just try to practice this out and see what you can put up. So in this market, we'll start from this level here. We'll start from this level and we'll head right down to this level as well. Then we'll also be heading right up to this level as well. Okay, so I want to study an entire market from this three leg complex structure. But first of all, if you can literally see this with me, that if I'm starting here to this high, what I have here is a simple it's a complex uptrend structure, right? I'll be having a complex structure. So within that complex structure lies a simple structure. So if I'm to look at this market here from this high to this low, right? Let's first of all break this down from this high right down to this low structure here. So what am I going to have here? Like I said, a simple downtrend structure comprises of three legs movement. We have a downtrend, a pullback which is literally called what? A lower high and a lower low, right? So if I'm to look within this market here, what am I going to see? You see that I literally have this happening right here, guys. We have a low, we have what? We have a lower high, and we have a lower low. Is it clear? So this here we have a downtrend. Now I can call this pullback here an uptrend. Why am I calling it an uptrend structure here? Because why? The height of this downtrend here got broken. Is it clear? That means this level here got broken, and for this level to get broken here, I can call this entire pullback here an uptrend. Is it clear? So what happened after this breakout here? What we expected here was that we were expecting to see if the market will break, go back for a retest along this area, then continue back upright. But this never happened. It never played out. So this became a fake out. Then the market did what? The market went back all the way down, continuing back in creating what? A simple bearish structure. Is it clear? We have a simple bearish structure right down to this level. Understood? So this is what I'm talking about. So you see that from this level here, from entirely all this structure here, everything here was what? Our simple bearish structure. That means the market selling. Okay, this is a simple bearish structure for the market to sell, and now we have a simple bullish structure here also for the market to buy. Okay, we have a simple bullish structure there for the market to do what? For the market to buy, which was literally at this level, then followed back again by a simple bearish structure. Is that understood? So if I'm to come back here, okay, if I'm to come back there and remove this, guys, so if I say let's look at this market entirely from this level now, you see that it is made up of what? We have three trends. Okay, we have three major trends playing out along this area to create this. This is our first complex structure, which is bearish, then followed by our complex structure which is bullish. So let's just complete with this. If I'm to count this here, I will say that I have my trend. I'll call entirely all of this simple downtrend structure here, I will call it as a single bearish structure, right? So I'm going to have this as one, right? Then the bullish structure that break away from this level, I'm going to have it as my 2 or my B point, and I'm also going to have entirely this bearish structure as my 3, okay, which is my C point as well. So if I am to draw a trend line on this bearish structure, what I'm going to do is that I will simply be connecting from what? The highs here, which is this level and not this. Now you understand how trend lines are being drawn following complex market structure. So if I'm drawing my trend line, I'll be drawing this from here right down to this level as well. Okay, so this is not a, as a novice person will possibly want to draw it at this level, right? But want to draw it at this level, calling this as a breakout, which that is not a breakout. Okay, this is not a breakout. This is the original way of drawing trend line. I'm drawing them at the closing price of the candlestick, which I later explained in one of my other videos. So if you have not done that, you can go within our chart history, then you watch that out. Okay, you watch that. If not so, then you check it. If you haven't done so, you check it. But remember, please If you have watched the video right up to this level, remember to subscribe, like, and share this video. So I'll be rounding up here, guys. If you like this video, please drop me a like and also leave your thought on this video on the comment section. I'll appreciate that. See you on our next video.